Hi, gay.
Close it right now, but
Homosexual.
at some point. Huh?
Are you homosexual?
A what?
I'm homosexual.
What's that?
Okay, so I want to preface this by saying that this is going to be more of a rant type of video. It's basically just me reacting to a situation that recently happened online and sharing my thoughts on the matter. There's a content creator who goes by the name Shera71. Some of you might know her as the Sprinkle Sprinkle lady.
Sprinkle, sprinkle.
I personally find her hilarious. I love how witty she is. Her clapbacks are so iconic.
You said used wounds are for free. That's how you got here? Your mama used wound, sprinkle, sprinkle. Do you even know your daddy? I'm sure your mom's wound was nice and used when you got deposited. Aren't there some men that don't cheat? Yeah, they in the cemetery.
In recent months, she has absolutely exploded in popularity for her dating advice content, in which she encourages women to decenter romantic love and prioritize financial stability in relationships with men.
Where my money? I can't feel nothing until this feels up. What sign should you avoid when dating men? The negative bank account sign. The minus sign.
Your man would leave you if you start paying half the bills or contributing, then that's not your man. That's your roommate, Dusty Pit. That's your straight. If you ever give a broke man money, make sure you write it off on your taxes as given to charity.
Can I have a something? Friends with benefits? Nope, that's ratchet. You know how many women are sitting there mad because they got pregnant by their friends with benefits and they done disappeared? You're just being used with no commitment and you still got to pay your own bills. Are those benefits in cash? Because if they not, I don't see no benefit.
However, I first discovered her through her esoteric and spiritual channel, Shera Star Goddess. I would describe her as a free thinker. To me, she's a unicorn. She's that rare type of Black woman who has never subscribed to organized religion of any kind. In fact, she actively warns against them and was one of the few liberal-leaning women to speak out against the hijab and highlight its oppression during the Iranian protests.
A 22-year-old by the name of Mahsa Amani was beaten and killed for not wearing a hijab. And I say take them off. It's too hot anyway. It's downing your beauty, your hair, and how you look because men are insecure and can't control themselves. So take them off, baby. You ain't wrapping your hair off to sleep in. Take it off. It's a way to control women. You should not be arrested by the morality police in any part of the world for not covering your head if it ain't raining. Okay? So a lot of people are against wearing these and I'm not attacking any religion or anything. I'm just attacking the insecurities of men and their need to control women. So if that is part of the culture that you're in, I'm sorry, it should not be anymore. You should not have to wear something that you are uncomfortable wearing. Is a lot of times, let me take these off so I can read some of y'all comments. A lot of times people are afraid that they'll lose their support or their family or be disowned. Let me tell y'all something. I would rather be disowned than be in a family that allows that kind of crap to happen to me, okay? I would rather be like one of those ladies who left their whole family and culture and threw the hijab in the trash can and became a stripper or a porn star. I would rather be that than be controlled, okay? And I know a lot of women are doing that now. They're leaving out of certain cultures and religions to be free because in this day and age, you cannot be controlled by a man because all that is showing and highlighting the male insecurity. If you have to control your women by laws, beating them and killing them, you're not controlling them. They're controlling you because you have to set up laws. You have to set up precautions. You have to have morality police. You got to be snitch. You got to be looking left and right, make sure that lady ain't showing an ankle or a hair. Women are controlling y'all, and y'all don't even realize. Y'all are so controlled by women that if y'all see an ankle, a knuckle, or a baby hair, y'all crazy. Enough. I say remove the hijab and put on your crown, baby. Even being gay is outlawed in that part of the world in some countries and some cultures. So a lot of people say, oh, well, we don't want to end up like America and y'all's backwards ways, but at least we are quote unquote free. It's free to be backwards and forwards, upside down, inside out, and sideways. Better to be free than in a closet under a hijab, being oppressed and secretly in the closet. Okay, so y'all need to stop all of that.
I've learned a great deal from her through watching her videos. I've even identified and eliminated toxic traits, patterns that were passed down to me by my pick-me, male-worshipping, religious zealot mother. If I sound like a fangirl, that's because I am. And she has a lot of fangirls, actually, many of which are Muslim women. And I gotta admit, I don't know why they flock to her, seeing as though she speaks against everything Islam stands for and always has. Someone left this comment under Shera's post, and I couldn't help but nod and laugh at how on the nose it is. Anyway, peaceful believing women came out in angry droves to admonish Shera for sharing a post in support of the LGBTQ community's Pride Month. I mean, the comments were shocking and vile, so I'm only going to showcase some of the mild ones here because I don't want to immortalize that sort of vitriol on my platform. And I want to highlight that when most of the peaceful commenters were given the benefit of the doubt by non-believers and told to show the peace that their faith purports, they doubled down with comments like these and enforced their hateful stance by using the teachings of the faith to justify blanketed hatred of people based on sexual orientation. For those of you that don't know, the religion of peace is extremely intolerant of homosexuality. It is a crime punishable by death under Sharia law. What's absolutely wild to me about this aversion to same-sex coupling is the fact that Islamic culture, by its very nature, fosters an environment for such unions to sprout in the first place. The extreme segregation of the sexes that you see in Muslim spaces promotes and even encourages love and attraction to grow between people of the same sex, as during their formative years, young people are strategically isolated from the opposite gender. But obviously, young people with raging hormones are bound to be curious about their changing bodies and are going to experiment despite these restrictions. And without access to the opposite sex, they're more inclined to turn to the peers that they do have access to. There's a feminist writer named Marilyn Fry who argues that amongst adults, heterosexual men under patriarchy, there is pervasive homoeroticism, and that straight men are only straight insofar as they sleep with women exclusively. In one of her essays, she points out that straight men actually reserve a great deal of adoration, respect, and love for other straight men specifically, and prefer their company over that of women. And these days, men are actually telling you this with their own mouths.
We don't be liking these girls. We just do it just because, and then it's like after you get it off, you feel disgusted.
Out there, right? Still, I told a girl that our bodies don't even tell us to love y'all. Tell us to fuck y'all. Like it does. Like I said this, it's easy to 3 girls back to back. It's hard to your girl 3 times in a row, right behind each other. Like think about that. Like if you really think about that, right? 3 girls walking in back to back, you up and ready each time. It don't matter. Your girl back, like trying to hit her 3 times in a row, they gonna tell you, nah, man, we don't want this. In most cases, like our bodies tell us to go and get somebody else. That's why 30 men can populate the whole planet. It's running through our bodies. It's like saying our brains don't say fall in love. It's like her and I'll get some of that kind. And then I'm trying to, you know what I'm saying? Like, but they don't know that our bodies say it instinctually. Yeah.
There are straight men who do not like women. I asked in the football locker room once, I said, hey, bros, like, what's something that y'all like about women that's not sexual or physical or any of that shit? Crickets.
The most eye-opening thing I ever learned about men was from my college human sexuality class, where the professor told us that men don't actually like women. Not all men. Sure, but hang in. He said that the way that our society socializes boys to, quote, become men is not to tell them how to be men. It's just to teach them how to not be women. Don't cry, be a man. Don't be a pussy, be a man. Don't be weak, be a man. Don't be sensitive, be a man. Don't like those things. Those are girl things. And the tool we use to do that kind of socializing, to steer them away from feminine things, is shame. And you just can't go your whole life being told that the worst thing you could do is be like a woman and expect to actually like women at the end of that. But they are also taught that their sexual attractiveness to women and their ability to get women is a status symbol in front of other men. So they will sexually pursue women, but they don't actually like them as people. This is how patriarchal masculinity socializes men, and why shame, violence, and disgust are so intricately linked.
I don't think most women, Muslim or otherwise, realize just how many men have had experiences like the one that Elio and Oliver from Call Me By Your Name shared. I know that no one asked, but I hated the book, by the way. It worked great as a film, but being inside the main character's head for 200 pages was torture. He was so insufferable. Like, these are actual sentences that were in the book. Anyway, I don't think some of you ladies under Shera's post realize that there is a great deal of gay in most men. I'm not trying to be funny. But I have a gay coworker turned friend who joked to me once before that the gayest men he knows are actually married with children. By the way, having an attractive gay male acquaintance has really opened my eyes to the nature of men. I mean, the amount of supposedly straight males that have come on to him while we're hanging out or getting drinks is insane. And don't get me started on the affairs he's had with married religious men. I've seen the texts. We'd be here all day. But getting back to my point, because Islam is so regressive with its gendered segregation, it makes it more likely for a man's first sexual experience to be with another man and vice versa. I read a book a little while ago called The Last of the Wine. It takes place in ancient Greece. Just before Alexander the Great's time, the society that's depicted in this book reminded me a whole lot of modern day Islam. In the narrative, the women were only there for domestic labor and procreation. They were delegated to be in the home, neither seen nor heard, while the men were considered superior. The story follows a young Athenian soldier named Alexios, who comes of age, takes on a male lover before marrying a woman, and I find it so sad that I drew so many parallels between the misogynist society in this book that practiced pederasty and Islam. Anyway, the Muslim women under Shera's post and other homophobic people are really pathetic, in my opinion. The general consensus in Islam is that if you experience same-sex attraction, then you're just supposed to fight it and never act on your desires. I mean, imagine how the spouse of such a person would feel in that situation. All these rules do is deny people their humanity and force them to be sneaky and lie. It fosters an environment that encourages men to use women as beards, while they secretly spend weekend nights throwing ass at gay nightclubs and tricking off on Grindr. And can you really blame them? Because of the severe homophobia in this doctrine, a lot of believing women end up unknowingly married to gay men. I don't get how you can expect someone to suppress their true nature for the entirety of their lives. And because Islam goes widely unchallenged and is generally accepted and protected in the West, you'll rarely find pushback to the pervasive homophobia that persists in Muslim spaces. The peaceful believers are very bold and loud with their hatred. Just look at Michigan.
A woman marries a woman or a guy marries a guy, do that, it goes straight to hell. LGBTQ is not religion.
This is Hamtramck, Michigan, a predominantly Muslim town that made it illegal to hang the gay flag up in public space, causing a small war between the LGBT community and the Muslims that live here.
This is America. I have the right to say I'm against the gay pride flag. If anyone has an issue with it, they could go kick rocks.
I mean, they are literally moving like Terry Joe out there.
You got an American flag behind you. Are you a believer of Christ?
I got an American flag behind me and an American fag in front of me. Let me tell you this.
Anyway, I don't want to rant for too long, and I know this video is probably all over the place at this point. I just wanted to share my thoughts. It annoys me to see this sort of thing take place and go unchecked. Just like Shera, I consider myself an ally. There's nothing wrong with women or men loving men. You can't control who you like. I certainly would not be a straight woman if I could choose otherwise. Shera, if by chance you see this video, I just want to say thank you for sharing your thoughts on the hijab last year. And thank you for creating non-male centered spirituality videos. They really empowered me and helped me find the answers I was searching for when I needed them most. Well, I've run out of steam, so that's all for today. Until next time.
Homosexuals. Damn homosexuals.